Okay, hopefully this is on. Hopefully I got it on in time. I just turned it on at the precise time that the live was coming on. So hopefully you can hear me. Um, if not, it's going to be very awkward upload. But hi, how are you guys doing? It's been a while since I spoke to you, and like I look a lot better than I thought I would, considering my sleeping patterns have not been fantastic. But we will continue. Um, I'm coming online today to discuss something that should be embarrassing, but that actually, when I start to talk about this, the shame doesn't really lie with me. Let me explain. So, there was a post in July that I made with regards to the perps talking about vials that I carry around with me. Um, one of the gang stalkers alleged it was a child that I was carrying my own period blood around with me in a vial. Because they heard me talking in the past about period blood sometimes being used for magic. And again, you can look online for this information. It's all true. So from there, this particular child has been desperate to prove that she wasn't lying about that she wasn't, that she was telling the truth about it. And I think it's because so many lies have been told, not only by this child, but by her whole family. So many lies were told that at this point, they just don't want to listen to her anymore, and they don't want to listen to them anymore because they're just tired of the lies at this point. So they've been obsessed with my menstrual cycle for months. They have been obsessed with this idea that I'm potentially using my menstruation blood for magic. So, oh my God. So, right, okay. In the first place, again, it's not that big a deal when you really think about it, because online you can look it up. So it's not the fact that, they think that I'm doing magic using my own blood that really concerns me. What concerns me is that they've dehumanized me to such a degree where they're compartmentalizing me into period blood, and then into my body weight, and then into my skin color, and then into my, it's like this in continual effort to dehumanize me as a person. It really gives me Sarah Bartman vibes, that because of their fear of me, and because of their hatred of me, and because of the shame that they carry from being afraid of me, and from hating me, they're ashamed of their fear and hatred of me. So what they do is they try to put me back in that space by reducing me to a womb that bleeds. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they want to reduce me to that in a bid to kind of, try to assuage, not assuage, but try to reaffirm their own humanity. But what they don't realize is that they become less human every single time they engage in that behavior. They become less human every time, and they become less dignified every time. So coming back to the period blood thing, right? Um, because of the July uh, post that I made, somebody online commented that sometimes they steal your DNA. So what I have actually been doing is, again, I shouldn't be talking about this, but because the thing is, every time I talk about something like this, it's disgusting. But when somebody else talks about it, but anyway, I'm going to talk about it anyway. What I tend to do is after I use my towels, I try to rinse them out as much as possible to prevent DNA theft. But this is the thing, it literally holds so much of your blood, so much of your fluid as a woman, that you need to kind of rinse them out several times. And sometimes what can happen is that you need to soak them for a bit, then rinse them out, soak them, then rinse them out, squeeze them out. And even after you get everything that you possibly can squeezed out from your hygiene products, it doesn't get rid of everything because of the absorption factor. Some of them absorb themselves into the pearls embedded within the towels. So it doesn't get rid of everything. but it does help to safeguard against potential DNA threat, or at least it would have done if I'd have thrown the water away before I left for London the last time I left. Like, I left in December and I didn't realize that I had left the pot of blood, water, and, cleaning products there. I didn't realize that I'd done that. So what happened was, when I got back home, the perps were bragging about having broken into my flat. At the time, I didn't think anything of it because that's what they normally do. But then I spotted the blood, that the discarded blood that I left behind, that I was supposed to throw away, because that's what I usually do with the blood and water and cleaning products. I throw them away to make sure that nobody gets access to it. But I didn't do that when I left. So they knew that I discovered the bucket of like blood, and the blood that I was going to throw away. They saw that, and because I wasn't freaking out about it, they were freaking out. And because I wasn't freaking out, I don't know if this was a new tactic or if this was something that was pre-planned. But what they decided to do was they decided to pretend as if they were stealing my period blood to put a curse on me to make to make sure I couldn't do my tarot readings again. So that's what they started doing. They started creating this ruse to pretend like they were stealing my period blood to make sure that I couldn't do tarot readings again. And again, because they were trying to dehumanize me so much, a little bit more of their humanity has eroded. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were telling the truth, actually. But to me, like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy that they stole my blood to stop me doing readings. I think they did that to scare me. And the reason I say that is because during me waking up this morning, or me waking up this afternoon, because it's afternoon now, one of the children upstairs were bragging about, oh, she's not going to do her readings. I put a spell on her to do her readings. Something along those lines. I could have heard wrong. And then somebody shouted from the living room, we're not using a period blood. And I'm thinking, why would you announce something like that? That's just very strange. Like, why would you announce something like that? And that's when I realized it was a ruse to provoke paranoia. It was to provoke paranoia. So if they suspect that I'm doing hexes on them, what they do from there is they try to get me paranoid so that they can ascertain or not whether or not I'm doing hexes on them. Because one of the children of the perps are convinced that I've done some kind of curse on them for calling me the N-word, right? So what they did is they turned around and said, oh, well, we stole your period blood to put a curse on you. And the reason why I'm not freaking out is because this has been done before. There've been actual attempts to hex me before. And there've been actual bragging about spells on me, being put on me. And truth be told, if them spells are really worth anything, I would have seen results by now. So, it's something that has been done before. But when it was done before, when people bragged about putting hexes on me before, I did get paranoid. But this time around, I'm an older person. Because I'm an older person, the hormones are not kicking as much as they used to. They're not kicking my ass as much as they used to. So I'm able to cognitively be like, okay, so clearly they're announcing that because they want me to be paranoid about what they're doing. And they know I do magic. I might not talk about everything that I'm doing. In fact, I barely talk about anything that I'm doing because I know how the shit works. But it's like, they know I don't talk about it. So like, I feel like their whole thing is to make out like they're hexing me, make out like they're using my blood to do it. And then once they're doing that, they can ascertain whether or not I'm trying to use magic on them as a counter. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Because of their dehumanization of me in this way, the little bit of their humanity is eroding all the time. They're losing their humanity to this shit. Or maybe this is who they were all along. Menstruation is a normal part of a woman's cycle. It's a normal part of a woman's cycle. You will have menstruation. And if you're very lucky, you will have light, spotty menstruation that doesn't hurt too much. But menstruation is a normal part of a woman's cycle. And again, they're trying to allege that I use it in my magic. But again, you can look at it online. Menstruation is a normal part of a woman's cycle. And it's not a big deal. Like, what's a bigger deal? Using your own blood in a ritual, or sacrificing children in a ritual, sacrificing innocent people in a ritual, which is worse. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In this dehumanization of me as a woman, as an occult practitioner, in spreading these rumors about me, they're reducing a natural part of a woman's cycle to a weapon to dehumanize that same woman. And especially as she's black, any opportunity they can use to other me as a black woman, as a targeted individual, as somebody with mental illness, even though they got mental illness worse than me, any opportunity they can use to other me, they're taking it. They're losing their humanity, and they don't seem to see where they're losing their humanity. They don't seem to see that. They're not turning into animals. They're not even, like, they're turning into demons, but not demons in the sense of, being dignified and what have you and having power. No, not those type of demons. They're turning into lava. And lava are the type of demonic entities that try to suck the life out of people because they increasingly have nothing to give. These people, whether or not they're putting curses on me, they're turning into leeches. They're turning into leeches, and they don't understand that they're turning into leeches. You know? I feel like, these people have been given the benefit of the doubt. These perps have been given the benefit of the doubt over me for so long. And all they've done is squander it. All they've done is squander it. All they've done is squander the benefit of the doubt they've been given. All they've done is squander the privileges that they've been given. I can actually relate to that. I can actually I know what that's like. I've done that. But they just completely squander any benefit of the doubt that they're given by weaponizing a woman's natural cycle against her. This was supposed to embarrass me as a woman. But not if, again, as a TI and as a woman, if you really think about it, how does having a natural human cycle embarrass you? How does it embarrass you? It embarrasses the people that are trying to weaponize it against you. It embarrasses them. Why would you brag about breaking into somebody's flat and stealing their period blood from them and trying to curse them into not performing tarot readings? Not even, I can't. I just can't. I cannot. It is a lack of humanity and the lack of dignity for me. And then, there was a post I made about DNA theft on Instagram. And then there's a user below that talking about ha ha ha, basically ha 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 ha. And I'm like, usually it would bother me, but I'm just sitting there and I'm just looking at the so-called laughter underneath my post, and I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do with that? Ha 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 ha. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Almost everything that I'm saying, I've been proven right on. What am I supposed to do with this? And then you want to shame people for having a natural cycle. You want to make people paranoid over their over their natural cycle because they're worried you might do something fucking weird with it. You are the ones who should be embarrassed. The perps are the ones who should be embarrassed. The shame lies with them. It doesn't lie with us. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with the fact that haha and what am I supposed to do with that? My God, man. That's crazy. Like, again, like, it's just the hatred. It's so wild and so out of pocket. The hatred is supposed to make you feel bad about yourself as a TI. That's why I talk about these street theater shenanigans, right? The hatred that these people have towards you, the hatred they have for you and everything about you, it's supposed to make you feel bad about yourself. But then the hatred gets so wild and so inhuman and so out of control that you end up feeling the opposite. And then you end up thinking to yourself, you know what, maybe I'm not that bad after all. Maybe I've said it before. Sometimes the hatred gets so bad and the hatred gets so inhuman that you start thinking to yourself, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was too hard on myself. Maybe I shouldn't give myself such a hard time because it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But then again, it kind of does. Because if you're trying to evoke paranoia in a targeted individual, then most likely you're trying to cause mental illness. You're trying to incite mental illness so that the paranoid schizophrenia thing can be brought back around again. And it used to bother me because, again, paranoid schizophrenia, it's a very serious thing to accuse somebody of paranoid schizophrenia when they don't have it. It's a very dangerous thing to have them in a deputyship when they don't belong there. Like, this is trafficking. Do you understand? It's very serious. At the same time, if I'm paranoid schizophrenic, or if they diagnose me as paranoid schizophrenic wrongly because they don't want their crimes exposed, I don't have to worry about money, nor do I have to worry about my readings. I don't have to worry about any of that because, they're playing the same game over again. And all I have to do, if I ever get assessed for PIP or my ESA or universal credit, which might be coming up, if I have to get assessed for any of these things, I can just tell the fucking truth. In fact, I can go into detail on the fucking truth. I can turn around and say, well, these people have been doing they've been doing this to me. And they can turn around and say, well, this person clearly has paranoid schizophrenia. Let's give her the fucking money. It's really very simple. Let's give her the fucking money. She's clearly mad. Let's give her, say it, don't spray it. She's clearly mad. Let's give her the money. And it'll be as simple as that. So what am I worried about? And I think another thing that they're trying to do, another thing is that, there's this ploy to give me some kind of extra money so that they can try to report me for benefit fraud. Benefit fraud on what? I've been literally saying the same thing on my social media for over a decade. I've been saying that I've been gang stalked. There's proof that I've been gang stalked, that basically like major organizations have shut down. They're like, I've been saying the same thing for over a decade. Fraud where? And, they know about my, MI5 in particular, they know about Empress Justice Tarot and Empress Justice Astrology. They know about it through Black Brighton Market. They know about it. Remember ITVX? ITVX did a feature on Black Brighton Market. Next thing I know, I'm the only person not featured on there. My work is the only work not featured. Why is that? This is coming from the same network who softballed MI5. The government already know what I'm doing. They already know what I'm doing. They have way more information on me than any of these perps being asked to spy on me. The only reason why these perps are being asked to spy on me is to elevate my stress, to cause mental illness so that I can be discredited. That is the only reason they're there. They are there for no other fucking purpose than to cause as much pain as possible so that I can be rounded up into a mental health facility. That's the only reason they're there. They're not there for any other reason. They are not needed to spy on me at all. The kind of technology that these people have, these people can read brain waves. They can read brain waves to fucking ascertain what mood you're in. Do you not think, they can read your brain waves in order to figure out what your mind is saying. Like they've got the technology. Look online. It's right there. Do you seriously think they need to fucking have the perps there? Like, in fact, when the perps are spying on me and they're saying that, oh, she's laughing or she's doing this, she's doing that, their bosses are the ones telling them what mood I'm in. That's how advanced that technology is. The perps are not needed for anything else other than being weaponized irritants. That's the only thing they're used for. Weaponized irritants that can be disposed of at any time. Ironically, if the perps were to speak out against gang stalking, they would have a lot more power than to join in with it. Now that they're joining in with it, they're disposable. And they don't even realize it. They're disposable for their bosses. Their bosses have no need for them. Once you're in the hooks of gang stalking, your bosses have no need for you. They have no need for you at all. They can dispose of you at any time, and they will. They've done it before. They will continue to do it. And once again, the more you're marginalized and you get involved in this shit, the more they trap you into certain demise. But yeah, to recap, these people upstairs have been trying to evoke paranoia in me over my menstrual cycle. And the shit is so shameful and so embarrassing and just so dehumanizing. But the irony is that I don't feel dehumanized by them anymore. I don't feel ashamed by them anymore. I don't feel any of these things by them anymore. Instead, it just feels like they've dehumanized, shamed, and, I feel like they've done that to themselves now. Because to do this for months over a natural thing that women go through, it's just ridiculous to me. Using somebody's menstrual cycle to incite mental illness, there's something wrong with you. And to do it over somebody's race, because you're scared of black people, there's something wrong with you. To do it because somebody is a T.I., to shame them over natural things that everybody goes through, there's something wrong with you. There's something very, very wrong with you as a person. There's something wrong with you. If you've lost your humanity. You've lost your humanity. Your hatred and your bigotry has been used against you to play in your face. Now, again, I can be very creative with the bigotry. I can be a lot more creative than these people. I can put a lot more weight behind it too. But I feel like if I play along with the bigotry, if I play along with the, I'm being played in my face every single time I do it. So I just don't want to do it anymore. I make every effort not to do it. Because, it's one thing for me to bring up white supremacy as a dark entity that's got everybody under a cloud. It's one thing for me to talk about that, but it's another thing for me to just join in with bigotry and just like get down to the level of these same people who want to dehumanize me over my cycle. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna have anybody play me in my face like that. I'm not gonna have anybody play me in my face. Like nah. Nah. The time I get down to that level and start engaging in that type of bigotry, I'm being played in my face. I'm having my humanity robbed from me. I refuse. I fucking refuse, bro. So the way that I'm feeling right now, my battery is not, it's not fabulous. It's not a fabulous battery because the thing is, this thing that I'm using right here, it uses a lot of energy, right? So, battery wise, it's not fabulous, but rest assured, there is a first quarter moon reading coming up. I am going to be doing it. And, when it comes to the whole period blood thing, I'm over it. It's natural. It's not, this is getting ridiculous. It's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. Like at some point, dignity and humanity must enter the equation. At some point, dignity and humanity, they've got to enter the equation at some point. This is sad. This is very sad. But anyway, I got to get going. I want to thank everybody who came to watch the video. Um, I want to thank you guys for being present with me and hearing me out on what I had to say about this whole menstrual blood thing. I think the lesson to gain for all T.I.s from this, not just women, but men as well, is I think, a lot of know cognitively what I'm about to say, but you need to really feel it emotionally to understand. Don't let these people shame you over natural shit. Don't let these people reduce you to a body part to dehumanize you. Don't let these people do that. You're a human being with normal things. And, they will constantly use normal bodily functions. They will use your body literally trying to heal itself from their torture to humiliate you. Emotionally, you got to detach yourself from their tactics. You've got to detach yourself from them trying to turn something normal happening to you in your life and turning it into something evil, something degraded, something wrong. Because it speaks more to their lack of humanity than it ever speaks to your humanity at all. Like, just do not allow yourself to emotionally connect with their words anymore. Just don't do it. Desensitize yourself. What they have to say means nothing because it comes from the perspective of people who have allowed themselves to become lava, that have allowed themselves to become suckers of energy and joy and vitality and life. Detach. Just detach. Don't think of what they have to say anymore. And the only reason I even talk about what they say is because it's an important part of mapping out exactly how gang stalking works. If I don't talk about what they're doing to me and I don't talk about what I've learned from it, then it means a lot of T.I.s don't learn from it either. And I'm not trying to deny you guys of that. But when they try to dehumanize you in this way, that they're dehumanizing themselves, they're turning into something that's not human. And they're allowing themselves to go in that direction. They're allowing themselves to do that. Detach. Go on your human way and find ways to emotionally cope with what they're doing. Find a way through. That's the key. And a lot of people say, oh, I need practical advice. I'm like, no, you need emotional advice. Because everything that you're going through, from the physical pain of electronic torture to the, to the psychological fucking torture, everything is emotional. That's what they're doing this for. They're doing this to provoke your emotions. They've got the kind of technology where if they want to kill you with their weapons, they can fucking do it. They have been fucking doing it. If they want to kill you quick, they can do it. There is no reason why they can't. But they want to kill your spirit. They want to kill your spirit by continuously keeping you off balance emotionally, by continuously like weaponizing every single little thing, no matter how natural it is, so that you are always emotionally off center. That's the key. Your emotions are your spirit, not your soul. Your soul is what you do. Your spirit is your emotion. Everything is designed to break your spirit, to make your body more malleable. And the more you guard yourself against that, by remembering who you are and remembering what your core ethics are, is the more that little by little over the years you begin to become more resilient to the gang stalking. Why do you think with older people that they get really, really like heavy handed with the electronic torture? Is because emotionally they've learned to cope. So they increase the torture in order to break them emotionally. And I know that me saying that could be interpreted as a deterrent, but don't let it be a deterrent. Because once you learn how to emotionally cope with what they're doing to you, the more you can find ways around it. Trust me, I know. I've done it. There are times where I was in debilitating pain because of the weapons that were fired on me. I found a way through. Whichever opening there was that I could find to emotionally cope with it and emotionally deal with it, I found a window. I did not let it stop me. Where the cleanest that my home has ever been, or that my sleeping area has ever been, is when I couldn't fucking walk. Because I had the opportunity, whilst I was on the floor, to pick every little thing up. By the time I crawled back into bed after 2 hours, my room was spotless. With legs, with hips, with a body. Like cleaning up my shit takes days. I still haven't cleaned everything up yet. When you are debilitated and when you have things against you, you can find windows. There are always going to be little gaps that you can put yourself through in a bid to transcend the pain that you're going through, and transcend the heartache that you're going through, and transcend the grief that they're putting you through. There are ways in which you can do that. And that type of human resilience is something that these narcissists are never prepared for, because the perps have narcissistic traits, or they have the disorder, and they always think that they're smarter than they actually are every single time they torture you. It never occurs to them. They will always underestimate you. It never occurs to them that you will find a way through. It never fucking occurs to them ever. They always think, this is it. This is going to be the moment when I win, and they never do. They don't learn. They don't learn. Because they think every human being is like them. You take their toys away, they crumble. They think that you're like that. They don't know. They think you being able to walk around, talk to people, do what you do, they think all of those things are toys that they can take away and you will just crumble to nothing. They don't know about the human spirit, because again, they've dehumanized themselves to such a level. They don't know anything about humanity. They have to literally do decades of gang stalking just to figure it out. Decades of hacking into brainwaves. Like, if you have basic empathy, why do you need to hack into brainwaves to understand what somebody's thinking? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. If you have basic empathy, basic compassion, and you actually give a fuck, why do you need brainwaves? Like, somebody tell me. Why do you need brainwaves to figure somebody out? Why? You got a natural sensor right here. You should be able to tell what somebody's feeling, even what somebody's thinking. Like, human beings are naturally telepathic. You should be able to tell these things. Why the fuck do you need brainwave technology and thermal imagery to figure out what somebody's thinking unless you have completely lost your humanity and you ain't got it anymore? Why would you need all that? Why would you need to develop a parasocial relationship with somebody you're stalking if you have all that empathy and compassion already? You don't need it. I beg, you don't need it. So do not, for any reason, allow your normal reactions, normal human behavior to be a source of ridicule for these fucking larvae. Don't do it. What's the battery looking like? I gotta go, babes. I really got to go because I gotta charge this phone for my readings. I might do it tonight because the gang stalker. Hold on. Kizonia Osaki, okay? They hurt us some ways because our emotions is their strongest point on us T.I.s. Yes. If we're not aware of their works, we can be violent. It's not just violence we've got to worry about, though. It's not just violence we've got to worry about. I'm not a pacifist. I believe that in some cases, violence can be used for good. But the point is that they want you to commit violence or self-destruct on their terms and not yours. And I would never, ever advise self-destruction, ever, because I've been there. That's not something you want to do. You don't want to ruin your body. You don't want to live to tell the tale and ruin your body. And you also don't want to die and ensure that, the gang stalkers win. You don't want to do either of those things. So I would never encourage self-destruction. But violence, on the other hand, I'm not entirely opposed to. It's just, that the gang stalkers want you to do it on their terms in their time and not yours. Yeah. That's the whole point of these frequency weapons. They want to control your emotions because they don't control their emotions. They're not in touch with their emotions. So they want to control yours and dictate what you do. Yes, you're right. Okay, baby. So they want to dictate your emotions and control what you do because they're out of touch with their emotions. They don't know, the way that they love and the way that they don't love in the same way we do. So they want to control how we love and how we like. It's all a bit to control us. Everything it's not about what we do or how we feel. It's about whether or not we do it on their terms and in their time. Because when we do it on their terms and in their time, we can be used as false flags. That's the point. We can be used as false flags, or we can be used as trafficking fodder. I mean, we're already trafficking fodder. The time you become a TI, you are trafficked. Even if it's not in the conventional sense, but you're used for weapons trafficking and pharmaceutical trafficking, arms trafficking and pharmaceuticals. Yeah, that's at the very least, okay. And tech trafficking as well. You're used for all of these things. Like just being a basic TI, you're used for all of these things. All the other stuff comes extra. But yeah, like I can't even remember what I was saying. But yeah, no, that our emotions are being used to turn us into false flags or trafficking fodder in an extra sense. That's what I was saying. Yeah. So that's what our emotions are used for on their time and in their way. False flags or trafficking or additional trafficking. Baby, I've heard some horror stories. You wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it at all. You wouldn't believe it. But that's what they do. That is entirely what they do. That's why your emotions, getting a grip on them things, holds the key. And this is the thing about me, because I'm a very reactive person. Like, I had to learn the hard way how to like really get a grip with your emotions, and ironically that put me in a better position to be able to talk about these things, because like the gang stalkers don't know what to do with me. They cause me pain, and yes, they do make me cry, they do make me vulnerable, but even in the midst of that, I'm always finding new ways around the situation. And even when I'm losing teeth, or you know, they take my teeth out or whatever, I'm always finding new ways around the situation. When I'm being bombarded with sleep deprivation and with noise, I find new ways around the situation. They don't know what to do with me. I know that the gang stalkers have never dealt with a case like mine before. I've gone from being the chaotic person who was reactive and whose emotions made her do really irrational things, to being somebody who is completely in control of that, completely in control of her eccentricities, and completely in control of the narrative. And ironically, if it wasn't for the online trolling, I wouldn't have as much control over my image as I do now. I have a lot more control than I did because of the trolling. So like, they've, you know, the gang stalkers have never dealt with a case like mine before, because I don't react in a typical way to how a lot of T.I.s react. And that's because the perps tried to get us through our shame. They tried to get us through us not feeling normal. That's part of the isolation. If you don't feel like a normal human being, that's part of the isolation. It's not enough that they tell people a bunch of bullshit to either stalk you or keep their distance. That's not enough. You have to feel like you're not a part of something as well. Hang on. You have to feel like you're not a part of something. You have to feel like, you know, you're nothing, or you're this, that, and the third. It has to be an emotion as well. It cannot just be like a physical experience that you go through. So that's why they try to turn every normal thing that you are and every normal thing that you do into a freak show. That's why they do it. They want you to feel abnormal, doing normal shit and reacting in normal ways. If somebody's insulting you, if you have any type of love or dignity for yourself, of course you're going to say something back. If you are being put through pain, if you have any kind of love or dignity for yourself, of course you're going to fight back. But the more they violate you and the more you react, even though your reaction is justified, and the more stress that they cause you, that's how they get you. They get you through your love of yourself and your liking of yourself and your dignity for yourself. That's how they get you. They don't get you through your self-hatred. They get you through your love of yourself. Because when things are relatively good, there are certain things you're not going to put up with. When things are really bad, you're going to put up with a lot. But if you really like yourself and you have dignity for yourself and love for yourself, when people call you out your name, of course you're gonna fucking react. That's my dog you're talking about. That's my bee you're talking about. Who the fuck are you? But the more you react to them, the more you react to what they say, is the more they're able to get inside your head, and the more they're able to, like, that's what I'm saying. They use your love for yourself against you. Because no person who truly loves themselves will ever allow somebody to try to make them feel abnormal. That's a natural human reaction. But they turn natural human reactions into something freakish, into something laughable, into something worth laughing at. That's what they do. That's how they control you. Through your shame and through your need to live as normal a life as possible because you know what it means to be treated as abnormal. So you're trying to avoid that. And the more you try to avoid that, is the more these perps will weaponize that against you. That's why, like in the past, I used to really react in a way that, I used to be like, if you want to make me look weird, I'm going to be weird myself. I'm going to out weird you. It fucking worked. It fucking worked. And I did that out of complete insecurity. I did that because I was tired of people messing with me. Like, okay, you're going to make me weird. I'm going to be weirder than you. It fucking worked. Because guess what? They're relying on your desire to be normal. They're relying on your desire to be accepted, to keep you in their pocket. And they do it all the fucking time. Like with this menstrual blood shit. Menstrual blood is a natural part. This is the thing that nobody talks about, right? The most taboo part of a human being is the part that almost everybody goes through. Everybody shits, women bleed, everybody pisses. If you don't do that, it's more likely that you have a disorder when you don't do these things. And yet they want to take normal bodily functions, weaponize against you, whether it's what they're doing to Ciara Tavares Reyes and using bodily fluids to fucking vandalize her property, or they're using it against me in a psychological way to try to paint me as other at every opportunity. The things that bind all of us together are the things that are the most taboo. So what are they going to focus on? They're going to focus on that, to other you. They're going to focus on that, to other you. That is where the shame comes from. That is where the shame comes from. They want to shame you for for things that we're all taught to keep private. They want to reveal that in public to shame you. Or they want to take normal reactions that you have to their street theater, to their bullshit, and shame you for it. Oh, are we awake now? Are we awake now? That's one of their phrases. Are we awake now? When you don't react in the way that they want. Are you awake now? That's the type of bullshit they do. Wake up when you don't react. Do not let these people and their lack of humanity and their lava-like behavior diminish your humanity for a moment. Don't control your emotions. That's the worst thing you can do. Don't control your emotions. That's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is to try to control your emotions. I might have said control your emotions before. I might have actually said that before. But no, let me rephrase that. Don't control your emotions because that's the worst thing you can do. Accept your emotions. Let those waves ride, because the more you try to restrain them, the more they build up a tsunami and consume your landscape. You don't want that. Let your emotions run. Let your emotions do what they have to do. Accept them. Accept yourself. This is exactly what I say about your body and your spirit. These things are not moral. They are not ethical. They are neutral. So the best way to deal with your body and to deal with your spirit is to accept these things as they are. Hazonia Osaki. The thing is, they induce you to react. The gang stalkers around you work together. Even if you ignore them, they make you react. And oftentimes they voice their reaction through my mouth. Then I'd say it's your bestie. Okay. Well, that's one way of dealing with them. But yeah. Accept your body for the way it is. I don't care what they say about your body. Accept your body for the way it is. And accept your spirit for the way it is. Accept the way that they work. Your body deserves respect. Your body keeps you alive. I don't care how it looks. Your body is keeping you alive through the abuse and the torture that this world is inflicting on you. Your body is fucking badass. And not only is your body surviving the torture that it's being put through, you are, even after everything that your body is being subjected to, you still haven't become a gang stalker yet. That speaks volumes about the DNA that you're carrying. And normally I'm not into the chosen one shit, but it reveals a lot that you are still a TI and that you still remember who you are even after everything that your body has been put through. Show your body some motherfucking respect. Show it that respect. It deserves respect. You don't have a TI body. You don't have a perp body. You got a TI body. Yeah, you got a human body. You got a body that is surviving multiple attempts to change it into somebody else's vision, and your body is resisting that every single day. Again, I don't give a fuck what it looks like. That body is badass as fuck. Respect it. Do not judge it. And as for your spirit, even in spite of your spirit being pummeled left to right, you still refuse to become one of the perps. You still refuse to dull your humanity for them. You're still refusing to do it, even in your anger and your disgust and your fear and your shame. Some of you even feel guilty about the feelings that you have, and you still didn't turn. Show respect for your spirit. Don't judge your spirit. The only thing your body and your spirit need are unconditional love at all fucking times. That's the only thing that they need. It is your mind, your mentality, and your actions that are moral. Never forget that. Your body and your spirit are not moral. The only thing they need is love. Your mind and your actions are the things that need purifying every single day. And when you purify those things, it leads to the purification of your body and spirit in one way or another anyway. So yeah, those are the things you judge. If you want to judge anything, judge what you choose to think. Not the intrusive thoughts that they try to plant in your mind. No. Judge what you choose to think about and judge what you choose to do. Those deserve judgments, not your body and not your spirit. We live in a world where that's backwards. We judge our minds and bodies all day long, but we don't take responsibility for the things that we do and the things that we choose to think. Like it's a balance. Like we came into this world not judging our bodies or spirits and judging our actions and our minds. It's like we came into this world doing that. This world told us, in order to bring us into balance, don't judge your minds or your actions, judge your body and your spirit. Because what do children often judge you for first? They judge you for body and spirit, right? Bring it back. Bring it back. Judge your mind and your actions and not your body and your spirit. Bring it back. Bring that shit back. Don't let these fucking perps drag you into the playground. Bring that shit back. You heard? A war. No war. You know what I'm saying? And now I really have to go, everybody. I really got to go. This has got to be the last goodbye for now, because I need to charge my damn phone, because this eats up a lot of battery. So I want to thank all of you for joining me. I want to thank Kizonia Ozaki in particular for contributing to this live. And I will see you in the next live. Peace and blessings. My fellow TIs, take care of yourselves and let me know in the comments how you guys are doing. I always want to know. And yeah, I'm going to be doing the reading later on. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or tomorrow, but I'm going to do it when my phone is charged. That's all you need to know. Okay. I love you. Peace and blessings. Mwah. Bye bye, my darlings. Hold on. Slow connection. There we go.